What's your biggest fear?
Probably clowns or puppets or something.
My biggest fear is farting in a room when it's completely silent.
My biggest fear would probably be losing my parents.
My biggest fear is dying in an airplane. My biggest fear is losing a loved one.
Oh, my biggest fear is the blue waffle.
My biggest fear is drowning.
My biggest fear is losing my weed.
My biggest fear is the dark.
Gonorrhea.
Afraid of being suffocated, not being able to breathe.
Swimming with sharks.
My biggest fear is heights.
My biggest fear is not ever talking to my mom.
My biggest fear, sharks. Little baby ones, you know, little ones.
My biggest fear is a giant octopus eating me at the sea.
My greatest fear is getting into a car accident, because while I'm driving, because if you think about it, it all happens to us at least once, so I'm scared about that.
Zombies.
My greatest fear is that my seniors won't graduate.
Honestly, giving birth.
I kind of have a fear of heights, so I'm really afraid of skydiving. So I might just have to do that someday, but it freaks me out too much.
My biggest fear is being held under a really big wave while surfing. The reason it's my biggest fear is because it's already happened to me. Even though I'm like really inspired by people who can ride big waves, I could never do it because I'm so fearful that I'm going to die when I'm held under. Like, the first thing I do is scramble to the top because I can't hold my breath. I always think I'm going to die. So that's my biggest fear.
My greatest fear is that I won't succeed all my goals in life before I die.
My greatest fear would be that my daughter would not be happy with her life. So I spend most of my time and energy sacrificing so that she'll be a very happy person.
My greatest fear is probably some kind of devastating natural event, like a huge earthquake or tsunami or something like that. And I think that's horrifying.
My biggest fear is tarantulas.
My fear is losing someone.
My greatest fear is being lonely and having no friends, because my friends mean a lot to me.
The Disney Channel.
Death.
What's your biggest fear?
Well, my biggest fear, I don't really know, but I would say it's when my mom gets mad at me. Because my mom is crazy.
Oh my god.
Getting kidnapped, getting tortured.
My biggest fear is failing. That's my biggest fear.
I'm really afraid of the dark.
Spiders.
Failure.
Drowning.
What's your biggest fear?
Ain't no fear, man, only God.
My greatest fear is getting caught up by the immigration.
Dying.
My greatest fear is being attacked by a Garibaldi while I'm spearfishing. The Garibaldi's state fish. They get about 12 feet.
My greatest fear is the dark. I don't like not being able to see anything.
Biggest fear? Probably to be alone forever.
My biggest fear is heights.
I don't have one.
That the Giants won't repeat as world champions in baseball this year.
My biggest fear is spiders and people with hairy chest and back. That's nasty. Don't you think it's nasty?
I ain't scared of nothing, man. Back in the hood, we ain't supposed to be scared.
Spiders. Getting kidnapped or raped.